Hey, Tommy Sanders, Ronnie Moore with you here. And now it can be told some pretty important information. Where and when is the next Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Classic? And here's the answer. Drum roll, please. We're going to Fort Worth, Texas. Third time ever in Texas for the Classic and Lake Ray Roberts there north of Fort Worth. That's the big news for today, Ronnie.
And we know Ray Roberts. It was the host of the last Toyota Texas Bass Classic there, those great tournaments that has now morphed into what we know as Texas Fest. And Ray Roberts was a different lake. It was the first time they had done the Toyota Texas Bass Classic there, and it was a great event and put out some big bass as well. It should be great.
And Fort Worth, fantastic town. It's a big town, a big city, but it has a small town feel. It's real genuine. The people are great there. And it's going to be hosted by the Fort Worth Sports Commission and Visit Fort Worth. And it's going to be at the all-new state-of-the-art Dickies Arena. This place you got to see it to believe it. It is really brand new. 14,000 seats. It's going to be a perfect. And the Bassmaster Classic Outdoors Expo is just going to be right up the block there at the Will Rogers Memorial Center. So very convenient. I've been there before, lots of parking. It's a beautiful setup and can't wait to get going. But Ray Roberts, 30,000 acres on the Trinity River. Very much looking forward to that and the prospects of a terrific classic there.
It should be great. It should be great for the fans. Texas is a hotbed for fishing. They love that. We know, Tommy, it's very important to have classics that have great towns that love fishing. Greenville's always been one. Knoxville was one. Birmingham for sure. And Fort Worth, with all the lakes and all the outdoors out there, I know they're itching to have the 2021 Classic there.
Great town as well. Lots of other attractions. It's a great place to plan a family, just a bucket trip to go to the Classic. And a lot of our elite anglers have some great experience on that lake right there. Lake Ray Roberts, that aforementioned Toyota Texas Bass Classic, was, as a matter of fact, won by our special guest right now, who is just now learning where this Classic is going to be. Yes, it is Matt Herron. Matt Herron, who beat a combination of the best in a big-time tournament there. So, Matt, your first initial reaction to hearing it's going to be at Ray Roberts?
I think it's going to be a tremendous venue. Like you said, it's a hotbed of fishing. The lake's plenty big enough, and it's close enough in proximity to Fort Worth, especially with the interstate system they got. It's just going to make for a great venue.
So, Matt, obviously you're a flipper. You love to catch them any way you can, but that mid-March time period, the 19th through the 21st, Texas always kind of starts their spawning season a little earlier than the rest of the country. That should be prime time area to see some awesome things, but also to experience some great fish catches there.
Yeah, it really will. There's no telling what will happen in that thing. I went into it. I've never seen it when I won it. Everything kind of evolved that week, and everything kind of changed. If you'd asked me going into that tournament I won, I would have told you that the Keith Combs and those guys would have been dominant fishing offshore. But that lake, it's got a smorgasbord of ways to fish, and I think it'll be a tremendous fishery and a good playing field for the Classic.
30,000 acres, Matt. Does that seem large or small, or just about right for a 40, 50 person field, something like that?
I think it'll be about right. It just depends on the water level. If the water's up high, then you've got a situation where you can fish. It's a shallow water guy's dream. If the water's down, it'll kind of be an offshore guy's deal. It's just going to depend. I mean, it's a great fishery in that you can do multiple things in a day, and it's big enough, but yet it's small enough that you can change within the day really well. So it'll be a tremendous test for a great Classic.
Matt, you obviously enjoyed having the 2020 Bassmaster Classic right there in your home state, Guntersville, a place you're familiar with. You did great there in the Elite Series in 2019. You had a great Classic as well, being on camera a few days there. It had to feel good to do that, but you didn't get it done. You didn't win that Classic. What would it mean for you to be able to win the Classic on a place that you already have a big-time win at?
Well, winning a Classic anywhere would be good, but for whatever reason, there's certain lakes you show up at that you just really feel comfortable on, and that lake suited me well that week. I kind of understood it. I knew how, I knew it was making it tick, and I think going into that time of year, if I could make it there, I think it'll suit my style very well, and I think I would be quite competitive.
Matt, just a quick outlook on your win there. Give us the decider. What was the factor that allowed you to win that tournament? What separated you from everyone else there?
Just picking up on change. Anytime you win a major event, you got to pick. It's always something that's changing. And that week we went into it, the water had been high. There was a lot, they'd been in a drought, so they had a lot of new growth stuff, new growth willows and stuff that a large part of the field keyed in on, but yet, for whatever reason, they started pulling that impoundment down. When they pulled it down, it pulled the fish out, and they kind of, Texas is known, we call them creek channels everywhere else in the world, but Texas is known, they call them drains. And I picked up on that change where they went to the drains, and I won the tournament. It was just, and I don't think there was anybody else in the field that picked up on it.
Well, Matt, year in and year out, you're always a great bet to be among those guys who makes it to the Bassmaster Classic. So we're not going to worry about that very much. We expect to see you there, and we'll see if some previous experience and really positive feedback from that experience makes a difference in the Classic. Thank you so much, Matt Herring.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And now let's turn to our colleague here on the Bassmasters, Davey Height, and we can talk about the significance of the World Championship of Fishing. Hey, Davey.
Hey, Tommy, good to be with you guys. I mean, this is an exciting moment. Everyone's anticipating this announcement about this time of year. Some years it's a little sooner, some years a little later, but this is an awesome deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is only the third time that the Classic has been in Texas. What was it, 1979?
Hank Parker at
Texoma. And then 2017. We went to Houston, and the Houston thing brings up a question. People used to say, oh, you can't go to a big city, there's too many other attractions, but the Houston was a real smash, and I think that bodes well for Fort Worth in that area too. What do you think?
I'm super excited about it, no doubt about it. I'm from South Carolina, obviously. I love this state, but winning the Classic in New Orleans in the Superdome, to win a Classic for anyone, anywhere would be special, but to be in a big city is awesome. In the last few years, the 50th anniversary of the Classic, being there in Birmingham was absolutely incredible. And, I love fishing in South Carolina. That's where I learned to fish. Alabama is where I've won more money than any other state, but then I have a true love for the state of Texas. It is hunting, fishing paradise. There's so many good fisheries there. There's so many good places to hunt. I just love Texas. And I think, to one-up Knoxville, to one-up Greenville, to one-up Birmingham would be very hard to do. But the Fort Worth area there could absolutely do it. It could be our biggest Classic ever.
Davey, obviously, we know that if the TTBC goes to a lake, it's going to have big ones in it. We saw that Chris Zaldain caught a 712 to win a Toyota Tundra. So Ray Roberts has them, and for that time of the year, that is a time that it really gets right in Texas. If they spawn a little sooner, probably there than other places, but Fort Worth, mid-March, it's got to be prime.
Oh, it will be, no doubt about it. And, there's big deer, big bass in Texas. I mean, it's just, I'm so excited about it. I really am. I think it's a great area that we haven't been in, that particular area. We were in Houston just a few years ago, like you mentioned, Tommy, but that area has so many great fishermen, so many people in the industry, so many people that just live to bass fish and deer hunt. And that's truly kind of what our sport is. We have a lot of people that love to hunt and love to fish, and especially they love to hold up big bass on big stages. So I'm excited about that. It will be a great event, no doubt about it. The size of the fishery, I think, is perfect for a Classic because you'll see guys that'll be able to make changes because it's big, but it's not so big that you've got to make a commitment like you would on some really huge fisheries. But it's big enough that I don't think they'll be crowded, especially, with 50 people basically. So I love the size. It's not a real long drive. I mean, we can do an hour, a little less than an hour, I think, there to the state park from Fort Worth. So really excited about all parts of it. I truly am.
Yeah, and I'm I feel like I should add that more often than not, Ray Roberts is in the top 10 in the Bassmaster magazine list of best bass fishing lakes, the central region of that each and every year. And also, we think about Texas Parks and Wildlife partnering with that, and they just do a great job. I mean, they're committed to backing up the bass fishing. You think of the Sherlunker program, the great facility there at Athens. I mean, it's just a win-win any way you look at it, pretty much.
It really is, and just like we talked about, it seems like a year ago, but it's only back in March when Hank Cherry won the 50th Bassmaster Classic. It's going to change someone's life. It's the Super Bowl of professional bass fishing. Someone's life will be changed there. Someone will have a memory like I do of the Louisiana, the Superdome right there in New Orleans. And and I'm looking forward to it. It makes me smile. It makes me just have those memories, but also be proud that it changes someone's life for sure in a very positive way. And if you make a classic, even if you don't win, it changes a lot of people's lives because some people might only make that one. But I'm just so excited about it. I think it's the perfect place. And like I said, the last few years have all seemed perfect to me. This is just as big, and it's going to be just as good there in Fort Worth.
Davey, you mentioned it, the stage and the places, the great venues. That Dickies Arena there that they've made in Fort Worth, it's not only going to host sporting events like we know, like basketball and things like that for the NCAA tournament and stuff like that. It's going to host PBR, bull riding things, bass fishing. It's really one of those outdoor arenas created for all these niche sports that want that big stage, and it's state of the art like Tommy was mentioning. So it's going to be really cool what we're going to be able to do with graphics and also setting the stage for fans to enjoy the Classic weigh-in.
Certainly looking forward to it. I've researched it a little bit. It seems to be the perfect venue for a Bassmaster Classic, and like I said, that area of Texas there, Dallas, Fort Worth, there are so many people a lot of them fish. They fish Ray Roberts, no doubt about it, but they fish Toledo Bend, Rayburn, and a lot of other places. There's so many great outdoorsmen in that part of the country. We needed to have another Bassmaster Classic there, and I'm super excited that that's where we're going.
Now that's where we're going to start the second 50 years of the Bassmaster Classic, and like you said, 50 years, Davey, of changing a life of a great angler each and every year. That was very well put. Davey, thanks for joining us and offering your perspective as well. Our thanks to Matt Herron as well. So happy to make this announcement. 2021 Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Classic, the World Championship, coming to Fort Worth on March 19th, 20th, and 21st of 2021. Always we'll have more information always being posted up right here on Bassmaster.com, so be on the lookout for that.